If your business received a PPP loan and EIDL, you must know if the EIDL will affect your PPP loan forgiveness amount. That's what we're going to talk about in this video. Hello from Freedomtax Accounting. We are an accounting firm where we have been providing quality tax and accounting services now for over 20 years. If you're new to this channel, we provide the best tax and accounting strategies for small business owners so they can achieve their financial goals. But for the last couple of months, we have been concentrating on the SBA PPP and EIDL loan programs. Now, we are recording this video on October 21st, and we always emphasize the date of the recording of any video relating to PPP and EIDL because these programs have been constantly changing. So there may be things we discuss in this video that may change as soon as tomorrow. So that's the importance of subscribing to our channel. That way you will always be up to date with the most current and correct information regarding these SBA loans. Now, one of the most common questions we get in our office is, does the EIDL affect PPP forgiveness? The answer is no and yes. And we're going to show you why it's no and yes. But first, we have to remember that COVID-19 EIDL, that's the correct term for the EIDL loan program specifically for COVID, it has two parts. The EIDL loan program has the EIDL advance or grant, and it has the EIDL loan. It is two different parts of the program. If you applied for the EIDL before July 11th of 2020, you could have received the grant and the loan. But after July 11th, the EIDL advance or grant ran out of funds, but you can still get the EIDL loan. Now remember that the EIDL advance or grant is $1,000 per employee up to $10,000. That money you don't have to pay back to the SBA. Now the EIDL loan, as it stands today, is a maximum of $150,000. It's a 30-year loan with a 3.75% interest. This is a loan that you have to pay back. And also it's good to mention that the EIDL loan at this time does not have any type of forgiveness. It is a loan that you're going to have to pay back. Now remember, the EIDL program has two parts, the grant and the loan. Now let's talk about the EIDL loan portion. Does it affect PPP loan forgiveness? And the answer is no. The EIDL loan does not affect PPP forgiveness. Now, what about the EIDL advance or grant? And yes, the EIDL grant advance, yes, it does affect your PPP loan forgiveness. So if you got EIDL grant advance and you got PPP as well, your PPP loan will not be forgiven in full. The amount of EIDL grant advance that you received will directly affect your PPP loan forgiveness amount. For example, let's say you got a PPP loan of $80,000 and you got the $10,000 EIDL grant. So when you apply for forgiveness for PPP, $10,000 of the $80,000 will not be forgiven. If you got $1,000 EIDL grant, then that $1,000 will not be forgiven on your PPP loan. Now, what happens with the unforgiven PPP? And we will discuss that later on in this video. But if you're getting valuable information so far in this video, we would appreciate if you click like and also share this video with other business owners so they can take advantage of this information. Now, if we take a look on the 3 PPP forgiveness application forms, which depending on your case, you have to use one of these forms to apply for forgiveness. If we take a look at the forms, this is the 3508 form. Here it says when you apply for forgiveness, you need to show the SBA the amount of EIDL advance you received. If you take a look at the 3508EZ, also when you apply for PPP forgiveness, you also have to tell the SBA the amount of EIDL you received. And the third application form is the 3508S, which is the new one. As you can see, you also have to disclose the EIDL advance amount that you got. So that is how the EIDL will affect the PPP forgiveness loan. Okay. Now remember that depending on your case, you are going to have to file or submit one of these three forms to apply for PPP loan forgiveness. If you want to know which form your business has to use, we did a video on that. You can take a look at this video on this link above, or we're also going to put a link in the description below. Now, what happens with the unforgiven portion of your PPP loan? It will become a 2-year or a 5-year 1% interest loan with the bank that provided the PPP funds to your business. Now, if you received the PPP loan prior to June 5th, the PPP loan is a 2-year loan. Okay, now the SBA says that the unforgiven portion of PPP that will become a 2-year loan, you can negotiate with your bank to see if they can change it to a 5-year loan. Okay. Now, if you receive the PPP funds on June 5th or after, any unforgiven PPP loan amount will automatically become a 5-year loan. Okay. Remember that the PPP loan program is through a bank. It's very different than the EIDL that is directly through the SBA. So if you got your PPP loan through Bank of America and the unforgiven PPP loan amount, you have a loan with Bank of America. Okay. Now, if you don't want the headache of having a loan when the bank tells you your unforgiven amount, then you can just pay it back in full at that point, and you don't have to worry about having a loan. Now, this could all change. Why? We are all waiting for Congress to approve a new law that will automatically forgive all PPP loans under $150,000. And we are all praying for that because that is going to help a lot of small businesses. But until Congress approves this law, you have to prepare. If you got PPP and EIDL, you have to prepare that your PPP loan will not be forgiven in full, and the unforgiven portion will become a loan with the bank. But you can join us in prayer every day that please Congress approve this law, that every PPP under $150,000 gets approved. That way it's going to help a lot of business owners. Okay. Now, thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to this channel. Also click this notification bell. Also watch this suggested video where we discuss that the banks gave a lot more PPP than they should have. Okay. Thank you for watching. God bless you. Bye.